Alright, so in this video we're going to go through product attributes and attribute sets as well as configurable products. So this can be kind of confusing unless you look into a few of the options that Magento has in it to make sure that it's working correctly for you. So let's start by adding a product attribute. And a product attribute can be a configurable attribute such as size, where a customer is going to choose a size for a product, but it can also be extra fields about a product where you want to perhaps sort your product listing, such as if you've been on Amazon.com and you go to, for example, computers, and you want to only see computers that have over 2 gigabytes of RAM or some sort of filterable field like that. So let's go to Manage Attributes. And we'll go ahead and add a new attribute so we can go through those options. And let's call this one size. And I've already added a few size attributes while doing some testing, so I'm going to add 3 to the end so it doesn't conflict. The scope should be global. And the catalog input type is drop down, and this allows you to be able to sort by it. Unique value, no. Value required, yes. And I'll allow it to apply to any product type. And I do want to use this to create a configurable product. Now here's some other fields like using quick search and advanced search if you want this to be a searchable field. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and let's see, comparable in front end, yes. Using layered navigation. So with results means it will show up on pages only if there's results that use that attribute. With no results means they'll show everywhere on your categories even if it's not there. So it's better to use with results. Use and search results layered navigation, we'll say yes. And visible on product view on front end, yes. And we'll go ahead and use that in product listings and sortable. So now we'll go to manage label options and we'll call it size, and then add 3 options, which is small, medium, and large. And then we'll save that. Alright, so now let's add one called color, and this one we're not going to use for configuration. It's just an extra attribute so that people can sort by color. So we'll call it color, and again I've already added it before, so I'm just going to add an extra field to the end, and we'll make that a drop down. We're not going to make it required. And I'll just set this stuff to the same as before so that you can see it in the navigation. Alright, so we'll add a few of these. And we'll save it. Alright, so now let's add an attribute set. And you'll probably want an attribute set for each kind of product you offer, especially if it has filterable fields in it. For example, you might have, if you're doing clothing, certain fields for dresses, such as the type of occasion it's used for, like formal or dancing or things such as that. So let's go ahead and add a new one. So we'll call this t-shirts, and we'll base it on the default. So here's all the attributes that are in the default product. Now I'm going to add a new group, and I'll call it t-shirts. I'll scroll to the bottom and add those new ones that I've added. So I added a size field, and I added that new color field. So we'll save that set now. And after this, it's time to add the products. So let's go to Manage Products. And what we're going to do is add a small, medium, and large product for that t-shirt. And after that, we'll make the configurable product, which holds those 3 products. And allows the customer to select from a drop down the size they want. So we'll just add a couple to make it quicker. So we'll add the t-shirt type product as a reservation. I'm just going to add some test data here. So t-shirt, small, new, and just put some sample data here. And you're going to want to set visibility to not visible individually, since it's a configurable product and this is going inside of a configurable product. So I'll add a price point. And then we'll set the options for this one. Oh, and I did. Okay, so I'll set it to a black color. In the main store. And we'll put it in the women's blouses category, even though I call it a t-shirt. And save that. Okay, so you can see I added that new product. Now let's click on it and go ahead and duplicate it, so we can add the medium as well. Of course, there's faster ways to do this using spreadsheets, but it's good to see how it's done manually first. Okay. Add the price point again. And we'll set this to be medium, same color. Alright, everything looks good. Let's save it. Alright, now let's make the configurable product, which holds these two subproducts. So again, it's clothing, configurable. This next page asks you to base it on what option, which is the size. Alright. Okay, now here's the new part, the associated products. So we want to associate it with the products that we just made. Okay, so now we need to add the configurable product. And the important part is to select the attribute set that you just made, or that we're using before this. So we'll set the t-shirts configurable product. And we want to base that on the size to be the configuration option. Alright. Call it blouse since it's in the women's category. And I believe the color was black. Now let's go to associated products, and that's the important part. So you checkbox the products that are part of this configurable product. So we'll add those two that we had before. And if you have more products, those will show up here. And we'll set the category and make it active. Alright, let's save that. Okay, now let's check it out on the customer side. Actually, before we do that, there's one more important note. On your categories, you need to make those what they call in Magento let me find the name for it here. Under women, let's go to that category and click on it to edit it. And under display settings, is anchor, you want to make sure that's set to yes, or else it will not show the filterable options on it. Okay, so now let's go to the customer side and go to that category. So you'll see the configuration options on the side, the filters. So remember that we added those, and you can filter by color, and it will show new ones here if you add them. So let's click on that product and reserve it. Alright, so I'll select my size and the reservation dates and click add to cart. Alright, and let's click on the cart itself. So as you can see here, we've successfully added a reservation product to our cart. So a quick review, you first want to add your reservation products or regular products if you're just selling them. Then you add the configurable product and associate those products with it. And then you put them in, of course, in your category, and then you'll be good to go. Thanks for watching.